Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another Fridays with the Fellas. We're lucky to have you all here. Just wanted to let you know that we're, the Fellas program. Fellas stands for Fathers Empowered to Learn, Lead, and Achieve Success. We're a program geared towards our Essex County fathers. We really want to build a bond between our fathers in the Essex County area. And one way to do that, we do it through our curriculum, in which we promote three strong components within the lives of our fathers, which is one, we want to promote responsible parenting. Two, we also want to help sustain, a healthy relationship and/or marriage. And three, we want to instill some economic stability within our fathers, which is, Microsoft skills, our resume building, job etiquette skills, interviewing skills. So we're really geared to really bring in a one mindset to all our fathers here in the Essex County area. And we have our fatherhood program specialist with us here today. I know you guys met some of them before in our last live, but now we're fully staffed. Everybody's here. We're all on board. So I really want to introduce all of you. And we can start off with JB. Go ahead and start us off, man.
Hey, my name is John Bermudez, program specialist for the Fellas program. It's great to be here. Looking forward to taking this journey with everyone who's interested in being a part of this, and I can't wait.
Good. Let's go ahead and jump over to JD. I just want you guys we have two Johns. So we have a John Davis and a John Bermudez. So we just slash them up by calling them JB and JD. Well, go ahead, JD.
How you doing? John Davis. Like I said, a program specialist here. Just really excited to get started. Fully staffed, and you got a great group of guys here.
Awesome. Hector, let's jump on in. You're on mute, Hector.
I apologize. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hector Perez. I'm a fatherhood program specialist, and I look forward to meeting new clients, meeting new people, and helping them as best as we can in this new journey together with the client.
Gotcha. All right, Sam, you want to jump on in?
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Samuel Ramirez, and I was the last member to be hired as part of this great team that we have here, and we're looking forward to the journey that we have ahead of us.
And last but not least, the biggest personality of them all, Mr. James.
Blessed day, y'all. Not only the biggest personality, but the biggest brother on the team. I'm a fatherhood program specialist as well. I'm really looking forward to personally breaking generational curses to put dads back on the map and to build a genuine bond, a brotherly bond through this program.
Awesome. Just want to dive a little bit into the Fellas program again. For all of you that's joining us today, as stated before, Fellas is an Essex County program geared towards fathers and promoting three components. But also the premise of the reason why we brought Fellas together in the first place, because, in the past we had a Fellas program, we saw how beneficial that Fellas program was to our fathers. Then as time went on, we still try to engage the partnership. We're under the umbrella of the Partnership for Maternal and Child Health. During the years, we saw how beneficial the Fellas program was in the past. So we wanted to bring that back and really bring a voice to our fathers. So we really, reestablished this, brought together a great group of guys to really help bring this bond and a sense of unity amongst our fathers. Not to sound cliche, but you all know the saying, united we stand, divided we fall. And we really want to bring our fathers together and really make a mark to the community that fathers are here too. Fathers do care. Fathers want to be successful, not just for themselves, but for their community and their family. So we're just going to dive into some questions like we did before. We're just going to have some general questions about, life, about fellas, about manhood, and you're here to hear the mindsets of some of our FPSs so you can get a gist of who's really working with us. As I stated before, we really have a great group of guys, and we really want to give you a chance to meet all of them. So I'm just going to jump right into the questions. First question, as a fatherhood program specialist, how do you think your role can positively affect the community? We're going to start off with John. You want to answer this first, John? JB, go ahead, JB.
Absolutely. Ideally, we want to go forward and be leaders, but we also want to be able to listen. I think that's the biggest part. I think as a collective, we want to be able to move forward in a way that allows us to build a rapport with all the gentlemen who are invested in the program, who want to be a part of this, And then we just want to be able to grow together as a collective and as a community. We can all expand, even those who are facilitating. It's very important to listen.
You're absolutely right. I mean, we just want to grow together, right? And that's that sense of unity that I was speaking about earlier. We really want to have our one cohort of fathers that's geared towards one mindset, and that mindset is to better our community and also be better partners within our homes, our communities, our families, wherever we go. We just want to be a good, positive presence to our community members. What about you, James?
Well, I always wanted to be a positive influence in any community when it comes to fatherhood. Basically to help them enhance the way how they view the community, their healthy relationships, enhancing the way how they are with their family and their children, and also tapping into better ways of being a responsible father.
You know what word I really love that you used? Enhancing. Because a lot of people think that, oh, our fathers, they don't have these skill sets yet, but they do. But what we want to do is help take that to the next level. We know our fathers are great out here. We know our fathers really have a presence, but we want to take that to the next level. So I love that word that you used, enhance, because we know you already have it in you. We just want to take it to the next level. Sam, what about you, man? How do you think your role can really positively affect the community?
I think my role is to build a great relationship with the team, with the people that we meet on the street, and with the fathers that we're trying to empower out here. It's basically to excel them forward, give them a better future, and change the community one step at a time. We're basically planting a seed for a better future for us and for our community.
You know, I love that term, planting the seed. And as I said, that we're trying to plant the seed to really build that bond, right? And we're trying to be an example to not just Essex County, but every county in New Jersey, that once we really collectively come together, we're unstoppable. We're men, we're fathers, we're out here. And when we have that one mindset, that one goal to be better for our community, it really does something. It really speaks value. And I'm glad that we're all on the same mindset to really build that relationship, build that bond. But you know, you guys are amazing. I'm going to jump right on to the next question. The next question: the Fellows Program has begun its outreach and recruitment efforts. Tell us a little bit about how that's going, and you know, and tell us about the different fathers that you encounter as you guys are going up and down the street. We're going to start off. Let's start off with Hector. Tell us about the recruitment process. Hector, you're on mute once again. Maybe we should just take you off, you know?
Well, I apologize. Well, the recruitment effort has been going well. I want to say due to this time period, due to the pandemic, there's a lot of adjusting that we have to do when we're out in the streets. It looks kind of crazy when you go up to a person with a mask on and try to talk to them and hand them a paper. So you have to engage with them and get them to feel comfortable with you when you're out there and talk to them. And you have to do it in a quick effort because everybody's on the move. But in that quick effort, you need to establish a rapport with them and make them feel comfortable and let them know what our goals are in this program. And if they're considering to join this program, we're going to do the best that we can to help them better themselves in every aspect, in any aspect that they need help with. But our recruitment efforts are going well, I can say. And we have a great group of guys that are willing to speak to them, regardless of color, regardless if James doesn't know Spanish and he does, he'll still walk up to a Spanish person and engage with them and they'll be like, "¿Qué?" But I think we're doing a very good job with our recruitment efforts right now.
You know, I think you hit a very key component, especially when it comes to recruiting in this day and age. You know, COVID is seriously a game changer. You know, even when we're going out there, you know, we're still keeping our COVID protocols. You know, we're still keeping our 3 feet of distance. We're still wearing our masks. We're still trying to interact. But you know, you're right. It is hard. But I'm glad that we have a staff like you all that are really eager to get out there to know, you know, our fathers in the street and really make a presence. So yeah, I like I said, I admire all of your efforts. You guys are really going out there and really making a presence regardless of what's going on in the world. Our goal is to get to know the fathers, and at the end of the day, we're doing just that. Let me go ahead and jump on to James, how do you feel? You know, James, like I said, James has the biggest personality, guys. So he has no problem talking to anybody. So how do you feel about the recruitment efforts right now?
Bouncing off Brother Hector's statement, yeah, COVID most definitely is putting us to the test. It's a challenge. It's slow, smooth, but still successful in its own little way. I think I was able to get to the dads based off of their curiosity. Now, what I mean by curiosity, we all know we really don't have a lot of programs that's tailored to fathers, you know, and that's always been my pitch when I go out to do outreach. You know, me, Hector, the rest of my brothers on the team, it's like we're like a huge wave when we do outreach, and anybody who's caught in our midst, you know, they're going to get drenched with all this information we're trying to give them. And they're so curious about it because it's not common. It's not normal. So we're trying to drill in their head that, you know, we're trying to normalize linking up with a whole bunch of good gentlemen who's just strictly talking about fatherhood, how we can grow as men, how we can grow as fathers, how we can develop a relationship as brothers. So the outreach is pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
You know what? I think you really hit the nail on the head. I think that curiosity aspect with, you know, finding out what true support looks like, right? In terms for a father, you know, because there's a stigma out there. You know, I think we said in the last Fridays with the fellas, you know, every man has that ideology of I can do it by myself and I'm a one-man band and I can take on the world. But, you know, I'm glad that you all, you know, as a group of men that you're really going out there and showing them what joining together looks like. And when they see you all out there together, I'm going to give, you know, for the people that's watching on Facebook Live, you know, these 5 individuals, they literally go on to the streets, canvassing up and down, talking to the people where they are, you know, applying those COVID restrictions, but really getting to know them within those few moments. You know, when they see that group of men really trying to do that and, you know, build that group of men to not just 5, but, you know, 10 to 50 to 100, you know, that really speaks volumes. So that curiosity of what support looks like, you guys demonstrate that each and every day. And I really do appreciate that from each and every one of you. JB, how do you feel about the recruitment efforts?
It's been amazing. I completely agree with everything Hector and James said. It's tough in a COVID world. But what's interesting is that everyone's in a different place economically, socially, emotionally, in terms of the fathers that we're seeing in the community. But we're just looking for that common thread which is rooted in the desire to grow, to expand, and to begin to see things through a slightly different lens. With that, when you hit that spark and you see that light in them, it's an opportunity to engage, and it's an opportunity to deal with people who have the willingness to grow. And if that's what you have, then it's going to be a great ride.
You just said it all in a nutshell right there. You know, of course it's hard in a COVID world, but you know, one thing that you guys are really trying to key into is that common factor that you spoke about, because we're all, as you stated already, we're all going through different situations, but regardless of who you are, you know, the race, the size, it doesn't matter. We all still have that common goal to be better, and that's one thing that's a true component about our fellows program. We just don't want to individually be better, but as a unit, we want to be better. And I think that's another key and something that's really special about what we're trying to build amongst our Essex County fathers, that we can really start to be a pillar of as to what it means to be a fatherhood group, because we don't just want to individually be better. We want to, as a whole, to be better. You know, I'm going to jump right on to the next question. You know, just last week, millions of people sat at their TVs as they watched the verdict of the George Floyd case. Injustice inflicted on Black and brown people by the police has been going on for years. We all know that. In what ways do you feel as though the Fellows Program can truly assist in bringing a shift to the injustice inflicted on the brown and Black people? JD, I want you to really jump in on this. I know this is a heavy topic, but you know, I really want you to key in and give the people your mindset about this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, it's already a heavy subject already, but I think that what the program can do is just to kind of shift the awareness, and that we can let fathers know of their rights and what they can do and what they can't do, and what's legally allowed to them. I think that the Fathers Program does a great job of showing people that there is no dead ends in life. We're all given chances after chances, thankfully, right? Because all of us have that story where we could have been done. And I think we all have that ability to put that out into the community. So I think that's what it allows fathers that growth opportunity that they might not always get just working with themselves or with the circle that they always, put themselves in.
I think you're really right in the sense that, the fellas gives our fathers opportunities to grow. And one of those aspects is growing into knowing what your rights are, growing into knowing who you are as a man, so that you can be able to really let people know who you are, regardless of where you are. I think that, in terms of all the injustice that's being inflicted, that is a lack. A lot of us men, we do not know our rights. And that's something we do need to lock in on so that we can adequately represent ourselves in any given situation. And hopefully that we don't have to, those injustices won't keep inflicting on, our Black and brown people. James, can you jump in on this topic just a little bit as well?
Yeah, well, this is a difficult question to answer. Most fathers may not share or agree with other people when it comes to their perspective on the injustice inflicted on Black and brown people. So what fellas can offer, added on to Brother JB's statement, is, there's no pressure. There's no pressure coming from us. Like, whenever you're ready to talk about it, to where, it's not like interfering with the mission or the goals or the levels we're trying to reach, we're most definitely open to it, but it is an extremely sensitive topic to talk about.
I think you definitely spoke about a portion of this fellows program that, I really didn't go into as much. Part of our curriculum implementation in terms of implementing the, responsible parenting, implementing the sustaining a healthy relationship, and also instilling economic stability within our fathers. We also have a portion of our program in which we really sit down to really get to know our fathers on a one-on-one level. With this topic, with all the injustices that's being inflicted on our Black and brown people, we tend to keep that in. We tend to not talk about it as much. We tend to just keep it to ourselves because a lot, unfortunately, there aren't a lot of safe places for that. There aren't a lot of areas in which they can really express how they truly feel. It's hard, to feel hopeless, to feel like at any given moment, something can happen. So, I think what the fellows program really does, alluding to what you said, James, it really gives you that opportunity to build that group of men where you can talk about things like this, but also not just talk about it. Let's do something about it. When we collectively do something about it and we make noise, things happen, change happen. And I think the fellows creates that platform for us fathers to really go out, collectively talk about these situations, and then collectively come up with solutions about it. So, this question was really deep. I'm gonna move on to the next question. So when you think about fathers, what are some teachable moments your father has instilled in you, or a father figure that that has been in your life, and how do you intend to use those moments and to become an effective fatherhood program specialist? Let's go ahead and start off with Sam.
Well, for me, my dad's always been teaching me a bunch of lessons throughout my life, even how to fish, how to do, what they say about the fishing, you teach a man how to fish, he'll eat for many days. But if you just give him a fish, he's just gonna eat one day.
Right.
So he's always instilled to be the best that I can be. And that includes, being able to help the community and doing the best that I can in my schooling and my work, just, making a difference.
Got you. So, first of all, let me just say, I like to fish too. So tell your pops to hit me up so we go fishing one day, man. I just want to say. And then secondly, alluding to what you were talking about in terms of like being the best you can be, like I said, we already know that our fathers are great. We know our fathers are good men, and we're just here to really like help elevate that, take it to the next level. Because no matter how great how good you think you are, you can always go to the next level, especially when you have the support system backing you. LeBron James is a great basketball player, but he can always be better, right? And as fathers, we're good, but we know we can always be better. And I think that's one teachable moment that all of our fathers try to instill in us, to just be better. No matter where you are, never become stagnant, never become complacent where you are, because you can always be better. So I'm glad that your father was able to instill that in you, and then you're there for it and able to instill that in the fathers that we're planning on working with. What about you, JB? I mean, yes. What about you, JB?
Yeah, when I was a kid, my stepfather had a factory in the Bronx making women's dresses, and that went out of business. And he had no idea what to do. And for a long time, not a long time, for a period, he was delivering newspapers while he was going back to school. And then from there, he parlayed that into a career on Wall Street. So, you can flip the script. You can make adjustments and find your way. And that's what he did. And so he demonstrated tremendous work ethic, tremendous desire to expand for both himself. And I think he was an advocate for himself, but he was an advocate for his community. And I think that as fellas, we want to be able to apply a lot of those principles, the ability to be an advocate for your community, to pass it on, but to also be an advocate for yourself. And in this crazy world, we all have to change lanes very quickly sometimes, and it's doable.
You know what? We spoke a lot of, we speak often, but I never knew that story about your stepfather. And, that one word that really stuck out to me was adaptability. Being able to come across a situation and being able to adapt to make that situation even better. And that's one thing that I will say that our program is really trying to do within our fathers. We know that our fathers come across many situations, trying to be the man, the head honcho of the house. It's a big task, and it's a lot of weight on our shoulders. And, we come across different situations in which sometimes we feel lost, and sometimes we feel like there is no out to this. Now we just have to deal with it. But with working with men who also go through challenges and learning how they too came out of their struggle can teach fathers around them how to also be adaptable. So that's a very key component in which our fathers, and which you all really have, that you can really branch off and instill into our fathers, how to be adaptable when those tough situations come across. So JD, can you jump into this conversation as well?
Yeah, no, my father is a pastor in Newark for well over 40 years. And he showed me in quite a few different ways what it was to be a father. He was at times was the disciplinarian, and then there was at times, he was the caregiver of us. He juggled that very well. But in either case, like, he just always showed us that there's a lesson in whatever he was doing, unintentionally or intentionally. There was a lesson in how he was doing it and how he went about that. I think that's what taught me to be a father. Taking what he did and trying to emulate that the best I could. I wanted to be that. I wanted to instill that into, whoever I work with. I wanted people to see it. All these brothers that I work with, I hope that they see it, and the people, and hopefully the people that we work with, the fathers out there, they see it and they try to emulate that and, continue that going from, the next person to the next.
You know what? You're absolutely right. There's a lesson in everything we do. Everything we do. Even walking to the street, you never know walking to the store. You never know what lesson you'll find. You may come across somebody and you may not think anything of it. But there's a lesson in everything we do. And I think really being able to key in on our surroundings and being able to, key in on what's going on can really help us really see the lessons that our life is trying to give us. I too have a grandfather who's a pastor, and he's also an ex-Marine. So, he's just one of those individuals where if God wanted me gone, I would have been gone, right? He always tells me the story about how he he remembers he was on a battlefield, and he's just standing in the middle of the battlefield. And he just sees bombs just dropping all around him, and he's just realizing like what's going on, and how he was able to still be home and see us grow up. And he just said that was a lesson. If God wanted me gone, I would have been gone. So God is telling me, no, you're not done yet. That's your lesson. You're not done yet. There's more for you to do. And that's when he came back, and he's been my pastor all my life. So, but there's a lesson in everything we do, and I hope that this program can really help our fathers see that, not just to see the bad of a situation, but be able to see the lesson, see the good, see what can be instead of what is. So that's a very good insight for our fathers to know. And I'm gonna jump to the last question. Personally, what are your personal goals for this Fellas Fatherhood program? And what are you hoping the fathers can get out of this program? John, JD, we're gonna have you go back to it.
My personal goal is, I think all of us have that goal of, we want growth. We want more opportunities to work with as many fathers as possible, especially fathers in Essex County. I think we want to grow as big as possible, and, be able to affect as many lives as possible. I'm hoping that our fathers learn from the program, and they just they leave better than the person that they came in. If it's even just the smallest change, I think we would all consider that a positive group effort and a positive effort in the program. So I think we would consider any types of change for the better, a success for our.
I think you're absolutely right. Just even that little change, just to see, just for somebody else to acknowledge, hey, you didn't do that before, now you do that. This is growth. I think that's a sign of, hey, we're doing something positive for our community. We're really growing our fathers. And James, you want to jump in on this as well?
My personal goals with the fatherhood program. I really need our dads to normalize being a father. I don't want them to just see it as a title. I don't want them to see our position as just a job. I need our fathers to see that it's a lifestyle. It's a culture. It is something that is honestly God-given. I want to be able to help our dads break generational curses. So when me and my brothers step to you in a street and pass you a flyer and tell you about the program, or even facilitate our workshops, you should be able to light up and be like, yo, I'm about to join a fatherhood program, I'm about to join a brotherhood, and also light up when talking about your family, when talking about your current situation, because we are in trying times right now. Like COVID is hitting everybody. So it doesn't mean we have to sound down about everything. Like right now we're alive, like how your folks are like, out of all these stuff that's going on, I'm still here. You're alive. And why don't we start celebrating life? So that is something I want to really instill into our fathers. Like, yo, you're here for a reason. So you might as well light up with everything.
And I think that's one of the major key components to our Fellows program. We really want our fathers to feel excited about being a father. We want them to feel proud, to feel like they're the most important male in the world, because that's what fatherhood truly is. Our role is, like I said, I mean, not to say one is better than the other, but, there are a lot of recognition when it comes to parenting towards our mothers. Of course, they are the matriarchs of our family, and they really take care of, the family dynamics, but so does the father as well. And fathers need to start realizing that they too are head of the household. They too are the examples. They too are the pillars. They too are what our children are going to see in terms of realizing what it is to be a man, what it means to be a father. And we really want, as a Fellas Fatherhood program, for our fathers to say, hey, I'm a father. I'm a father. I'm a dad. Let's do this. And I really hope that this program really does this. Bring that feeling of excitement, that feeling of being proud to be a dad to our fathers. That's what our hopes are for the Fellas program. Hector, you want to finish us off in terms of telling us what are your personal goals for the program?
Yes. So one of my personal goals, to be honest, is that growing up, I didn't have a real father figure in my life. I was raised by a single woman, and she made stuff happen. So I saw her struggle. So my goal is to be the best father that I can and will be for my children. And another goal is to help other fathers be the same thing for their children. Like, it's either by committing to be in their lives, committing to help them financially if they're financially able and steady to, and also be committed to building a better relationship with their kid's mother or their spouse in any which way that they can see fit. So my goal is helping as many people will just better themselves and be better fathers and be an asset to their community in any which way possible.
You know, you said something that really locked in to me. You know, you really personally, your personal goal is to really help build that family dynamic. You know, really bring those components, that mother, child, and father unit back together for those that are in a broken situation. I think I can relate to that because that's something that I also want to see. Growing up, I did see a lot of broken homes. I did see a lot of, fathers over here, moms over here, or mom is in a, parents are going through attic situations and the child is, not really close. And it's just so much going on. But I think what the Fellas program really is, and alluding to what you said, what it tries to do is really bring that family dynamic back together, teaching us how to parent together, teaching us how to communicate with each other, and also bettering us economically, giving us tools and assets we need to really become better representatives to not just our family, but our children, our community members, to our fellow churchgoers, to our fellow members on the street. And I think that whole bringing it together so that you can be an example for not just yourself, but the community is really what the Fellas program is all about. We really, as a group, want to bring our fathers together. We want to show our fathers that together we are powerful. We are strong. We are here. We too are a part of our family dynamics. And we too can be what it means to be the leaders of our families, the leaders of our communities. And we hope that the Fellas program can be that to all of you. And we really want to bring our fathers in as much as possible, show you all the love that we have amongst each other. We want to branch that off to you and let you know that you're not alone. We have your back. We're here with you. Come be one of the fellas. Come join the fellas. We want you all to just become one of the fellas. Now, we want to thank each and every one of you for joining our Fridays with the Fellas. Please, if you're interested in becoming one of the fellas and joining this amazing group of guys, you can always reach out to us. You can go to our website, www.partnershipmch.org/fellas, or you can give us a call at 973-704-1421, or you can email us directly at fellas@partnershipmch.org. Once again, we thank you all for joining us. And if you're interested, become one of the fellas. We would love to have you. Thank you and have a great day, everyone. All right, fellas, we off.